Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no cape. And some informer friend we love lake. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Anyone here? I really came on to apologize. As you all know, I'm not feeling well. And I was meant to come on at midnight. But I've taken a tablet to give me some rest and sleep. And it knocked me out. Right now, I'm still in my bed talking to you all. I really just came on to apologize for not keeping up to my timing tonight, because I really wanted us to come on midnight tonight. But while the tablet and the sleep took me on their journey, I'm just coming on to say season's greetings to you all and do you all some big ups. Hey Stacy, hey Jerome, Lady Lions. What's this? I can't even see. Sunshine, Beat and Teach. You're all just joining. Thank you all very much. I knew I've disappointed you all tonight or the last 2 nights because I have not been too well. As I said, right now I'm still in my bed talking to you all. But oh yes, I'm doing everything to feel better. But if anyone of you want to call and say a Christmas big up to anyone, please feel free to do so. If you know you have your friends and family who listens to Global TV and you want to give them a big up or a shout out, please do so. Global TV will facilitate your Christmas shout outs. But hey Debbie, how are you? Beat and Teach, wagwan. But I hope you all been having a blessed and busy period, because this time of the year is just busy for everybody. But if you live in the UK or you have ever lived in the UK, you know it is one of the most boringest nights of the year in the United Kingdom, because after midnight everything just wind down and go very silent and quiet. Unlike the celebration we would have at home in Jamaica on a night like tonight, it's one of the most enjoyable night where most of us foreigner, wherever we are outside of Jamaica, this is a night where we miss Jamaica, because all our people at home will be packing all the town centers across the country from now on. It used to be until daylight, I think. They're cutting it down to like 2 o'clock now. But it is a night where all of us in the diaspora, if we have not traveled home for Christmas, then that's a night where we really miss our country, because that Christmas feel that we have when we're in Jamaica, that Christmas feel is just not here. I've never felt it. It's Christmas here is like one of the most boringest period in the UK. So for those of us who are not able to travel home, then we just have to make most of it in the UK with family and friends. Oh, my eyes can barely see anything right now. When I just wake up, I can barely see anything. But I wanted to ask Camilla right Mango some questions. But I think I'm going to leave them for tomorrow night. Because can you all hear me? Someone is telling me that I'm low. Can you all hear me any better? Are you hearing me any better, please? Let me know in the chat if I'm still coming through low, or if you're hearing me better. Okay, thanks. Hold on. Beat and teach me, just I see a text where you send me half an hour ago. Them the time them never even wake up, beat and teach. That's why my son so I can barely see anything. Come and just wake up, run go wash my face, and come set the link, because I realize I'm an hour behind the time I've given for tonight. But my apologies. My apologies to you all. And the medication and remedy them when I take to keep me feeling much better. Yes, Grand Market night tonight is, I mean, for all of us who is in the UK now, we know Jamaica is kicking off the whole of tonight and the whole Christmas period, really. I mean, if you've ever lived in the UK, visited the UK, Christmas is boring here. The best part of Christmas here is Christmas Day, when the family meet and have meal together. Other than that, nah. Well, for the New Year's Eve, then we have that big fireworks service, but nothing beyond that. I mean, like, you have a lot of parties going on tonight, but those are for people who are driving and want to go tonight. But like you, the whole street life come to a standstill by midnight in the UK. Everything just winds down. You go on the street right now in the UK, it's like you're in a ghost town. The only thing you should be seeing moving out there, it may be a few Uber taking people from private parties to wherever are people driving from party, but nothing really of any enjoyment. But as I say, if anyone want to call in and do any big ups, you are more than welcome to do so. Hello, Mr. Ra, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I really hope you're doing well. Success as always. I know sometimes you're here, or most of the time you're here, but you're always hiding. But yes, people, I don't know how true the I don't know how true the allegation is, but it is said that that vlogger who a lot of us is asking question was having a relationship with Silvera, that is Kamala Forbes. So it is something that we're going to look into tomorrow and ask her some questions about it, because it is important if they were in a relationship at any point, or if they are still seeing each other. It is important. It is important that we know, and it would be for the reason that she has been given stories to either protect Silvera or to distract us. So if there was any, let me just stop touching my phone. If there was any relationship between Ripe Mango and Silvera, it is important in the fact that the information that she put out in public from our understanding would be information to protect Silvera. So either she was there or she wasn't there, and a friend is asking her as a media source to run his narrative in order to distract people when information to the contrary surface. And I think we can see since the postmortem result, she has been saying a lot, which she didn't at any time. Hold on, let me turn on this light, sorry. At no point before the postmortem she ever come out and start saying all these things, but she has been saying a lot in Silvera's, one we would say, defense or protection. If she's having a relationship with him, it is very, very important that we know. or if she has ever had a relationship with Mr. Silvera, it is important for us to know, because could it be that her narrative is only to protect him? That is important. Is she in a criminal case trying to distort justice? Remember, she's backing up the argument where Mr. Silvera said he wasn't at home. He would be backing up the argument by saying, I got there within hours of the incident. And when I got there, Mr. Silvera wasn't there, because initially the husband wasn't there. Or what? Initially, before you got there, or initially after, during the incident, during and in the immediate aftermath of the incident. Even though Mr. Silvera wasn't at home, even though Mr. Silvera was at home before the postmortem, and then Mr. Silvera wasn't at home after the postmortem, her story is showing protection to Silvera by saying, oh, initially he was not there. So what is she asking us to believe? Is she asking us to believe Mr. Silvera to say, I wasn't at home? Because if she's saying originally, if she is saying initially he was not there, then she would have seen when he arrived after she got there, or Silvera might have told her he wasn't there and only arrived in the morning. But all of that fall down. All of that fall down because Silvera tied himself up by, one, giving us a narrative when we all thought his wife died peacefully. And then when we realized that his wife was murdered, Silvera started to give different narrative. And who is out there to back up Silvera? Kamala Ripe Mango. So if Silvera and Kamala was in a relationship, we need to know. So we're asking her the question, were you ever at any point in a relationship with Julian Silvera? It is important for the public to know, was Kamala Forbes at any point having a relationship with Julian Silvera? If not, how close is the friendship between yourself and Mr. Silvera? Would you be able to prove from your telephone records that you and Mr. Silvera wasn't having communication from the 10th of November up until the result of the autopsy and beyond that. Because if that is so, then it is important for the investigators. Even though the investigators should have spoken to you already, we don't know if they have, but if they haven't, then they're lacking in their investigation skills and prowess, because you have said a lot of things, including placing yourself on the crime scene. And anyone on a crime scene ought to be questioned in relation to what they know, even if the information they have, it's an after the fact information, because based on her information, she got there after the death. So we want the after the fact information that you have surrounding Mrs. Silvera's death. We will be right back.
Global TV send another one. Oh, 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 oh. Global TV, I send them home. Yeah, man, this is Michael Buckley. I tell you, say, yo, the Global TV, yeah, man, we represent that 100%. Play the music, Global. Boom, shot.
The police must look at all elements to determine where the truth lies or the facts in Mrs. Silvera's death. The issue we have with our police service is that they never prove themselves unless it is something that is of grave concern to them or their uptown friends. Investigation in Jamaica, majority of the time, it's a warped situation, allowing a lot of perpetrators of crime to get away with crime just because of the way our investigation is done. It never really seek to find closure or bring justice to those who have been wronged. And it is that has also caused a lot of crime in our country, where people retaliate rather than trust the justice system to give them justice. People a lot of the time tend to take justice into their own hands. Like and share the live for me, please. Like and share the live, and let's get out there to those who are not aware that we're on. Why is it the criminal justice treat the rich different from the poor? Why is it that two of the biggest cover-up of crime cover-up of our century is done right in the political clique. Because I see some people, sometimes I always think a lot of we Jamaicans very, very either dumb, don't care about ourselves, and care about political favorism more. Because I hear a lot of people, I see a lot of people are comment on me page and bash me. Don't call Mark Golden name. Don't diss with Mark Golden. Julian Silvera, stop spread light on Mark Golden. Julian Silvera was an MP, hasn't been an MP for how long now? That is not the point. Isaac Buchanan wasn't an MP. How daft can some people be? Isaac Buchanan wasn't an MP. Yes, he may be the chair for the Human Rights Council in the People's National Party then. What is Julian Silvera's status holding up an umbrella over Mark Golden of recent? What is Julian Silvera's status behind Mark Golden of recent? It is relevant. But a lot of people are saying, stop calling Mark Golden name, don't tell lie about Mark Golden. It's important based on what we've seen in public that Mark Golden distanced himself or put out a statement since the turn of events. But remember, in Jamaica, everybody, justice isn't for everybody. Justice is for the rich. And when you're covering up crime, you normally cover up crime for the rich. Patrick Bailey, the Prime Minister, the then Prime Minister of Jamaica Wholeness. A man was stabbed, I think, 22 times and shot and killed in Patrick Bailey's house. No break-in and entry. No break-in and entry. Patrick Bailey didn't hear anything, but Patrick Bailey cannot be arrested, cannot be taken in front of the court. Did the police do any forensic examination of Patrick Bailey's house? Or did Mr. Wholeness block any investigation into the Patrick Bailey saga? Because the police themselves told us there was no break-in and entry. No sign of break-in and entry. But they still buy Patrick Bailey's argument that he did not hear anything. Now, who blocked that prosecution? Who blocked the prosecution of Patrick Bailey? This was another murder taking place in our house. No break-in and entry. The attorney of the Prime Minister, and it has rather stayed quiet, except for those of us on social media who raise that issue ever so often. 2023, we see similar incident, but wool were even drawn over our eyes. Because when Mrs. Silvera died, we were all told Mrs. Silvera died peacefully in her sleep. next to her husband. Mrs. Silvera died peacefully in her sleep next to her husband. It turned out that after the postmortem, it is not so. And then they all started to scramble. They all started to scramble and deepen the deception. Is mainstream media supporting the Silvera issue? Yes, the print papers are saying bit and pieces, but are they really giving the coverage to this situation that should be given? Are they giving the coverage that this situation really deserves? Mark Golden, from what we see in media sources, is very close to Silvera of recent in public, to the point where Silvera is always holding up an umbrella over Mark Golden in public. Are you not concerned of that relationship? And are you not even more concerned that the leader of the opposition cannot provide clarity? Good morning, Brittany. Good morning. Come on, Globalists. Like and share, please. Like and share. And if anyone is here listening silently and have not yet subscribed, please do so. Always observing. First time I'm seeing this name. You could be here, but I really don't look in the chat. But thank you all for being here. But yes, let us continue to focus. Brittany, I am very late as well because I was meant to come on at midnight and I didn't come on until 1:15 because I took a tablet to knock me out. Well, the good thing is I've gotten rid of the headache and the pain all over my body. The coughing has also gone. It's just to really get back my strength because I wasn't eating much for 2 days. So get back my strength and I will cheat my voice in the morning. Or not even in the morning. When I finish, I'll go downstairs and chuck up a little remedy together because everything downstairs really. But yes, back to the Silvera and the Patrick Bailey issue. These are two crimes committed in the house of people closely aligned. Patrick Bailey is closely aligned to the Prime Minister. Mr. Silvera, it is said, is on Mark Golden security team. It would appear so based on how he is quite close to Mark Golden in public, standing behind him, standing over him. That's the way your bodyguard would behave. If that is the case, Mr. Golden need to let us know, is Mr. Silvera your bodyguard? Hey, good night, Lorna. Mr. Silvera, Mr. Golden need to let us know, is Mr. Silvera your bodyguard? Is he a member of your security team? And if not, is he just a general supporter of you. We know he is a comrade. We know he's a comrade. But what we're asking, what's his relationship to Mark Golden and in the Golden camp? It is relevant. Are we going to put a prime minister, take a prime minister out of the house who've colluded with the murder in Patrick Bailey house, to change him for a leader of opposition and put him in the house as prime minister, who is highly possible involved in a cover-up of a murder that took place at Julian Silvera's house? Sometimes I honestly think these people think we're crazy. Where else in this world would Mr. Silvera not be arrested? Where else in this world would Patrick Bailey not be arrested? Only in a classist Jamaica. This would happen only in a classist Jamaica. And this is the problem we're having. Sasha Lewis, hello. This is the problem we're having. Our society look through the lens of class. Through the lens of class and colorism. Because our society view things through the lens of class and colorism, Mr. Silvera is able, even though been questioned by the police twice, Mr. Silvera is still able to have his freedom. Hello, Maria Williams. Mr. Silvera still have his freedom. This would never happen to one of us in the ghetto or one of us in rural Jamaica. It would never happen. Or home would get kicked, or door would get kicked in, or home would get ransacked because we have committed a crime. Not so for the upper echelons, those within the Senandra clique. Those within the Senandra clique, not so for them. You would have to make up all sorts of cock and bull story to distort the public. You've never heard the police said, we have arrested Mr. Silvera for questioning. If they have not arrested him for questioning, it's a light questioning. If they have not arrested him for questioning, it could be a very light questioning, which wouldn't probe enough to get to the bottom of the truth. Is Mr. Silvera being questioned under caution? Fitzbailey need to let us know that. Is Mr. Silvera being questioned under caution? Or is Mr. Silvera being questioned as a witness? If he's questioned under caution, he would be questioned as a suspect. You see how this thing is going, where On an issue like this, Fitzbailey is not interested in giving us any press conference or update on the matter, saying Mr. Silvera has been questioned twice without giving us up-to-date information as to who are you questioning him as: witness, suspect, person of interest. It is important for us to know the line of questioning you're taking with Mr. Silvera. But Fitzbailey, the government, the opposition, the women's movement of the PM. By the way, uptown women movement and all of that, and the whole of Jamaica, don't y'all think this is something that you should be demonstrating about? Don't you think this is something you should be all demonstrating about? Remember, this Christmas, who will be looking after the Silvera children? Remember, their grandmother died, I think, about 6 months ago. Leon Davis died about 6 months ago. Who will be looking after the Silvera's children this Christmas? Does Mr. Silvera still have custody of the children? Does Julian Silvera still have custody of his children? From the get-go of this incident, I have been asking for a reopening or a reinvestigation into the death of 2-year-old Silvera. I'm also seeing where other people are calling for such investigation as well. That is a good thing. More of us need to be asking that question. For the fact that Mr. Silvera could allegedly murder his wife and blatantly pull a wool over her eyes, it is not impossible for Mr. Silvera to murder a child, or the child may have died accidentally, and Mr. Silvera covered it up with a drowning in order to avoid further scrutiny at that time. There is a whole lot that needs to be unpacked in the whole Silvera issue. But it is evident that the police, the government, the opposition, all of them seem to be colluding in a cover-up. Because, here the JLP them come out and not say anything. Or are you just waiting to time shot Mark Golden with it just before local elections in February? Does Mark Golden want to come to the poll without giving clarity to his support or otherwise to Julian Silvera? is Mark Golden at any point will be distancing himself and the People's National Party from Julian Silvera? Because if not, we could be looking at an extended wholeness regime. Is Mark Golden a capitalist, or is Mark Golden a social democrat? Because Mark Golden is not behaving like a social democrat at the moment. Mark Golden is not acting like someone who really cares about the people. And if Mark Golden is showing that he doesn't give two hoots, whatever, how are you? If Mark Golden is showing that he doesn't give two hoots to even a rich woman uptown, God help some of us. A rich woman uptown who suits the color in which you would say, oh, she will get justice because she's from uptown. She's from uptown and she suit the color that would be given justice. Not so for Mrs. Silvera. Why? Because of our patriarchal society and political system, powerful men ride roughshod over powerful women. Take the Jean and Panton situation. Charges have been dropped against the Caucasian SSL boss. But the African woman is in custody without bail because they're asking us to believe that one woman defrauded an institution millions and billions, because we all turn out to know that the loot was bigger than we thought. If Jean and Panton wasn't the one who defrauded all that money, because remember, Jean and Panton gave a breakdown of the money she took. She also spoke about, and her first appearance in court, her argument was that she was stealing under instruction. Under whose instruction? She has been remanded in custody where she's not a risk to the public. Even if she's a flight risk, there's other way that can be dealt with. But Jean and Panton is awaiting persecution while charges have been dropped against the SSL boss. Classes, racist colorism. It's the way our justice system was designed and continue to operate. We need to change the system that governs us. And an Anderson poll came out where voters' apathy was 43%. Voters' apathy in Jamaica is 43%. On the other side of the coin, people are saying they will not be voting for either or either. This is to show you the destruction of the People's National Party. Because if we are, as many of us saying, it's the worst prime minister we've ever had since independence is Andrew Holness. The worst JLP prime minister we've ever had. And if the People's National Party, which everybody always say, oh, Jamaica is a PNP country, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Why at this juncture, where the country is being destroyed by the Jamaica Labour Party, we can't find the People's National Party to come together, revive and renew the country, and push forward for something? Do you all not find it strange? We're at this point where the People's National Party should be in a high mood to show the Jamaica Labour Party in February, send a signal to the Jamaica Labour Party in February that the nation is fed up with the current leadership. We rather is more observing day by day that we really don't seem to have much more of a choice. The People's National Party is not putting themselves forward as a credible choice. There's huge division and infighting across the People's National Party. You heard some of the recordings I've put out where Dennis Meadow think he's very weak, and trust me, not only Dennis Meadows think that, majority of the people around Golden think that he's weak and spineless. So trust me, we have a thing coming in February. If the signal is sent that Holness can win another general election, look out for him soon. And once Holness wins another general election, we are in a full-blown dictatorship. Full-blown. But as I said, if any of you want to call, and anybody here know Right Mango, send and tell her that we're asking new questions that comes to light. Has she ever been, or is she in a relationship with Mr. Silvera? it is important to know. And to Fitz Bailey, we want to know, has Kamala Forbes been questioned by the investigators? What's the line of questioning you're taking with Mr. Silvera? Is Mr. Silvera questioned as a witness, a suspect, or a person of interest? It is important for Fitzbailey to update us. But if anyone wants to call in and say seasoned greetings to family or friends, please feel free to do so. If I'm coming on in the daytime tomorrow, it will be more likely on TikTok. The reason is I can almost guarantee there's gonna be music in the house all day tomorrow. So YouTube won't tolerate that. So if I'm coming on in the daytime, it will be on TikTok. And hello, Ra, how are you?
Yeah, good night, Wayne. Merry Christmas season greetings to all the Jamaican people all over the world. I like what you're saying, and I've been listening to what you're saying, Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell you something. You are so right. Poor people cannot get justice in Jamaica. Jamaica is the land of pirates, and it is bad.
Oh yes.
In this time when we are thinking about Christ, and we think about Jamaica, we think about the presence of Christ in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Is Christ present in this environment, this wicked and vicious environment, this corrupt environment? I don't know. In the environment where people dying needlessly, where people stealing needlessly, and where even when the rich steal, only they can get away by paying them way out of the trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the police. Yeah, I wonder to myself, when is God in Jamaica?
Well, remember, we have more churches per capita than anywhere else in the world. We pray without ceasing. But with all of that, we see the escalation of crime and corruption, the breakdown of society. So the question is, does religion and God that was given to us really works?
Well, the people, if they're not afraid of God, they must afraid of something. What are they afraid of? I want to tell you something in the Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
If Jamaica, I'm a trained screenwriter, and that's not to boast or anything, because it's hard work. And if somebody was to say to me, write a story about crime in Jamaica, it would be about people committing crime and whatever, create a character. I would tell you the truth, if it had to be based on actual stuff that happened in Jamaica, it would be so simple. The plot would be too predictable.
Oh yeah.
So then you ask yourself, as a reasonable man, if these people are not doing complicated crime, or if the crime is so big, but the way how they do it is not so complicated, then what stops them from getting caught? It's because somebody else is turning a blind eye. It's not because the criminals are genius.
Oh
it's
no.
Not because them rich people are genius. The man put 3 shots in the woman's belly, and then the police friend come over and do a fake investigation and pronounce the woman sleeping in her dying in her sleep.
And
That
Fitzbailey.
is corruption. That is not genius. He was not genius criminal.
And
You understand?
Fitzbailey have the nerve. Fitzbailey have the nerve to want to distort the investigation and tell us gibberish.
That's the next thing. Fitzbailey is supposed to be a pastor, a priest, and there's many proverbs. If he is a wise man, that he would take a look at and really take seriously when it comes to collaborating with criminals or collaborating with wickedness in the world. It's only foolish people do wickedness, you know. Because you only think that this and the here and now is all of what there is. Then I want to tell you something. Your soul, Proverbs tell you that your soul is in trouble. Not me write Proverbs. The barn and come see Proverbs. You understand? Them say the wisest man in the world wrote Proverbs. You understand?
When is the people going to realize that this justice system doesn't work for them, or doesn't work for who doesn't have money or in class?
I'm going to tell you when. You see, when the prison system start popping at the scene with only poor people in it, and when poor people start starving and really realize that a foolishness are going, and them start take out them anger upon the real people then you have the rich people them protector, the police running out on the people and you have a big revolution. Any day that revolution take place, remember poor people who not police are no friend. Police are rich people friend.
Oh yes.
So I tell you no. Yeah, you know, even did you watch the that video with the little youngsters them and how they might talk about them experience, and it's like there's no hope from where they come from, and just by the address them it's like there's no hope, there's no future for them except to be the tool of politicians.
Yes.
Gunmen going out there to do
the dirty work for politicians who are supplying them guns, such as Horace Chang.
And it's not only him alone, most of them do it. Them is vicious. Because their children are not mixing with those people. And those people don't realize, say, hello, I don't want another, I want murder for one another for people, not even Sunday dinner. Or a one Sunday they ever invite you to come out them yard, their Sunday dinner. One is idiot.
Right, they don't even concern about things that happen to their constituents. How much of them even turn up to one of their constituents' housing when there's a bereavement within the family? Very few of them. It's only exactly. It's only if election is coming up and they're looking for vote, then they will turn up and do their vote begging. But other than that, these people have never shown that they care about the people who they continue to fool day in, day out.
The people that they work so hard and pretend to want to represent. You see, this is the thing with Jamaican people too again, and the young people. I don't understand why them don't know or realize that the vote is an important instrument, you know, and it can be used for your interest, or it can be used against your interest and your benefit.
Lack of knowledge. I
don't get it.
Lack of knowledge is a major thing with our voting. People lack the knowledge, they don't know their rights, they don't know the power of their vote. And this is why they could sell it, they can and could sell it to politicians for £1,000 per year, $1,000 per year.
$1,000? Oh, you mean 1,000 Jamaican dollars?
$1,000 per year.
Oh, God, them now sell it for nothing. Hey, can you imagine that? And then, but you know who you should blame too? I blame the Electoral Commission. Isn't there an authority there to look at these things, look into these irregularities, these voting breaches, I call them. There's no Electoral Commission. Nobody to say stop it. Nobody to take action against the candidates that's doing it.
Because it's how our system has run forever. No matter what your office is, in the system we operate in our country, no matter how high an office is, it can be corrupted. Take, for instance, our justice system. If you can corrupt our justice system and our politics, there's nothing else. There's nothing else off God. If you manage to corrupt our justice system and our politics, backed up by a very corrupt religious society, does anyone really understand the problems we're in?
What a web we weave.
Wow.
When at first we tend to deceive.
We practice to deceive. Trust.
Hey, you say Jamaica, just the video alone with them young man, they show you say you're already on your way to 80 standards. Just that one video with them young man there, with the gun them and all of that, and them I tell you, say, them have no other choice, and them can't look for nothing else. It's like them a beg for a parent. It's like them a beg for an opportunity, a chance.
You see the hypocrisy of this thing, Ra. When you look at those young men, the community they're from, the unemployment within that community, but these young men got high-powered rifle and is supplied with ammunition. Who is supplying them these ammunition? I am told that a lot of these gangsters in the Garrison area, they are being sold ammunition by police and JDF personnel.
You see the corruption.
Somebody have to give it to them, Rob. Somebody have to supply it to them because them can't buy clothes.
And them can't afford to buy it, so we'll provide the money and it.
Exactly.
The money and it. Hey, you see them young boys, you know what them young boys should look at? Them should look at how willing these people are to give them these guns and ammunition to destroy themselves, instead of building a building that can make something to hire them, so that they can make $1 and go home safely to their family and provide for their family, train them, send them, give them some type of skill. All that money where they must spend to do these murderings and providing all this armory to these people. Them can't, trust me, them can't create a little farm and hire the same people let them go do some farming, sell the goods and get paid and just turn yourself into something good.
They're not interested in our development, but I do believe one day these weapons are going to be turned in the direction they're coming from.
And you know what? I was going to say that. Mm-hmm. Why you say that?
Because
why you say that?
Because we've been squeezed more and more, and even the youth in the ghetto is realizing that these people don't really care about us. There is a time coming, Rod, that I believe these weapons are going to be turned back to the direction they're coming from.
That's the only logical conclusion or ending to that story. Like I said, the story is predictable. It's not no plot. It's not no good plot. The plot simple.
Mm-hmm.
The plot is simple. No, don't wear them can't put that twist into the story so it not end up the way you just say.
Mm-hmm.
It's unless them change them ways.
And I think we're too far and deep in right now to have a drastic turnaround.
Or else, like you said, it's going. That's where the story is going. Where it's gonna turn out like Cuba. When Fidel Castro decided said it can't happen anymore. This cannot be the playground of the rich.
You see, when
it cannot be. We refuse to let Jamaica be the playground of the rich. When poor people decide that, at them time that the twisting of the story.
Ra, you see the minute them pull paper money from under we feet, I do believe that's gonna cause an uprising in Jamaica.
No, but they can't do that. They're not gonna do that. I wouldn't worry about that. That cashless thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't worry. If you think about it, Wayne, I think the Jamaican people have misunderstand. It cannot go totally cashless, just like how England and America work, where the card is convenience.
Exactly right, because you have some places where you have to creep on your hand and knee figure where internet just not there. Our Higla society just don't
so
ready.
Them not totally just abolish cash. But I think the only people to benefit from a system where they introduce cards is the banks. Where they charge you fees to use your own money. So I wouldn't panic if I was Jamaican. There's much more things to be panicked about. Much. It's like when you pass away, are your children going to get what you leave for them? Them things are more important. When you pass, you can't come back and say, hi, hello, give me things. When the thief them have it. So you have to decide, Jamaican people have to decide. You have to put this twist into the story. You have to improve Jamaica. And you not improve it. So tell you the truth, you not improve it to we, because we done the America and England and all over the place, all over the world. Improve it for yourself, because you did suffer.
Do you think our family at home are really looking at the next generation in the way that us in the diaspora does? Because most of the challenges to the government is from us in the diaspora.
When you look at it, look at the people. All these things happening. All people. It's like poor people is secondary and just back burner. That don't tell you something right there, so that don't reveal something to you.
But what?
Look at where you are in England. Even as racist as it is, you still have the opportunity to move ahead, to go forward. You're upwardly moving. You have the ability.
Precisely.
In Jamaica, poor people, just like they never watch the video with the man them saying by them address. He say them can't even put them address. Them can't even put them address on an application.
Remember Etna did do that. Remember Etna did do that song long time.
Yeah.
And these addresses were created by politicians. These garrison addresses were created and weaponized by politicians on both sides of the coin.
Then all right, two things. If you create the monster, you're going to want the monster come at your work, come at your business place, come work.
Oh,
and you know where the monster capable of. No. Second thing, when this deal with this 5% with the gold mine and things, people shouldn't be surprised because Michael Manley saying the Jamaica Labour Party has been bought by these people. So basically, where you have is two partners are negotiate on their own behalf. Give themselves the best deal. You understand? They probably even negotiate at 10 or at 20%, but only 5% for the Jamaican people.
With the Jamaican people outside of their negotiated deals. Because literally,
you negotiate with yourself and against yourself.
Literally, we don't see the improvement with all of what these people are taking from these international partners. We don't see the improvement.
But can you imagine somebody come a your yard now, come tell us them find gold? Remember you own a your land, you know? And them tell you them find gold in a your land worth billions of US dollars. And you talk about you would be offer me 5%. You better leave the gold less and go about your business.
No, but the problem, who then does Jamaica belong to? Who is running Jamaica?
Carl Manley say, man. Him say the multinationals. And when he make a step, and they try to put them under manners.
I tell people all the while, you know. I tell people all the while, but they don't seem to understand. Jamaica is run by the IMF, the corporations,
exactly,
and is monitored on the ground by the PSOJ.
Because on the machinery, and them have the capital, and them without them it's like, but we achieve some sort or some level of independence from the time we get independence till now.
Right.
Get them to just follow the
right.
the route of
we have never been independent.
Democratic socialism.
Right. You say independence.
I can agree with that.
Independence and freedom is something that is something that nobody can give to you. You have to fight for them, demand them. After you've asserted those rights, then other people must recognize them. But nobody can come say to you, oh, I'm giving you your freedom or your independence. This is the very problem we end up in, because we make white people tell us them and give us freedom and independence, in which way we've never gotten anything. Are the Caucasians?
If they use me iron, if me must call them a color, I call myself a color, it would be pink and brown.
Pink and brown, precisely. Precisely. It is so true. It is so true.
And I declare where you are putting my mind.
But
and I tell me that this is what it should. No.
The narrative.
Brown people, different shades of them.
The narrative that you're free and you're independent is a misnomer, because independence and freedom is something that you fight for and take on. Oh yes. It's not something somebody can throw at you. It's not a piece of bone. And,
no, sir.
And this is the problem.
Is worth nothing.
This is why.
If a person decides that you're out now, they change my mind, you know. Me no want but I get the freedom. It can't. So it wasn't free in the first place.
But Ra, what was freedom when you remain with the political system of your oppressor, the education system of your oppressor, the economic and financial system of your oppressor? How can that or could that be freedom? The spiritual or religious oppression of your oppressor, you've taken on all of that, and you still run around with the mantra that we are free. We have freedom.
I want to tell you something weird. I want to tell you something, you know, and it's a knowledge, it's an ignorance I consider it of who you are, of yourself. You see, what Jamaican people should realize is this, even the religious people, Christians. Well, make me even go further back than that. You see, every religion where them bring to the African was meant to do the African arm. It was meant to subjugate the African.
Oh yes.
You understand? So you see, even the Bible that they at first they didn't even give the slaves any type of exposition to religion, you know. And later on, when them start get a little, them a try control them now, and them say, well, I will for them now.
When they were ready to take off the train and they want to control the mind, that was when the Bible was introduced to us.
Thank you very much, sir. And you know, Pastor, you know what? When them do a thing like that now, you see the Bible where them give the slave. It's not the full Bible here.
Oh no, it's a distorted Bible. And this is why you see we are so confused with this religion, Raw, because we have been given a distorted version.
Well, I know, it's most of the lessons in the Bible that the slaves got were for three main reasons. One, to obey the master. Two, to forgive the master for beating you and abusing you.
Oh, yes.
And three, nobody worry about your freedom now. You shall get your freedom when you go to heaven.
Go do a raw, go drink milk and honey. Imagine us African people where have so much diabetes amongst us. Them are go send with our heaven go drink honey. Black people lactose intolerant, and them are gonna send we go drink milk. Can you imagine what would be happening in heaven? Listen, man,
the sanitation good in heaven.
Sometimes if people think through some of the confusion that they've given us to read.
There is a God.
Can you, of course, we do recognize there is a God and there is a higher power, but I don't believe it from the religious perspective that was given to us by the Caucasians. That was given to us to manipulate and control us, and for us to be continuously subservient to them in whatever new economic model they come up with.
I want to tell you something, you know. I want to tell you something, you know. Some Africans, even before us getting to come here, Dr. Clark.
Hey, Jada Mill.
Some of the Africans would just look at the missionaries and say, this big empty God, you can't put this big empty God in that little church, that little house. It's like them understand, them know that no, it is more than that. God is more than what they are bringing. Now, you see, I want to tell you the truth too, you know. You see, if the Europeans or the Caucasian or whatever you call them did in fact believe in what they sold us, they wouldn't do the things that they did to us. Because the scripture with them myself said, thou shalt not kill. But what it actually means is thou shalt not kill him. When it said thou shalt not steal, what it actually means is said thou shalt not steal from him. You understand?
Precisely. Right, you see when you go last school,
those are good principles.
You see when you go last school, you realize that the laws that were created out of the crime they've committed. And in creating those laws, it wasn't to protect the general populace. It's to protect them from any retaliation of those who they've oppressed and suppressed.
And subjugate. No, I know
this is how these people write law.
I want to tell you something, though, you know. It didn't start out like that, you know, because the law really came from the scriptures, you know. Thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that. Even with Ma'at, you know, the 42 laws of Ma'at. You know, those, because...
But look at the Mahat law. I will not, but there is thou shalt not. I have not. Yes. I have not committed any murder. I have you know what I mean? Where they are telling you thou shalt not.
Which is it's almost the same thing to me, except it means one come with the intention.
One come with the intention to indoctrinate, and the other come with the impression of self-expression.
Yeah, meaning you have the option to do it and the option not to do it, and you have chosen not to do it. So I have not done. So I have not done. But when I want to tell you something, you know, you see the Africans, if you notice, more civilization are in and around where the African is.
Mm-hmm.
It never starts nowhere where like next to the Caucasus Mountains and stuff. So black people must recognize
democracy, regardless what they want to say about Nigeria. That was where democracy started.
There is no, listen, me read a book called Ruins of Empires by Count Constantine de Volney. He wrote that in 1791. And in this book, now listen to me, black people, Jamaican black people, and Uno must love the ambassador, the US ambassador, because he love black people too. Listen to me now. The man in the book said, the man, meaning black people, the man to which we, Caucasians or Europeans, hold much scorn is the man who gave to the world the arts, the sciences, and even the gift of speech. Meaning the people, the world couldn't talk.
The gift of writing also.
No, but listen to this now. They're going to make a connection to you now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? If you are the one who give the world words, look at the scripture at John 1:1. Wait, say, in the beginning was what?
The Word.
The Word. And the Word was with who?
God. So is that not concluding who is God on earth?
That is saying to you who they considered God.
Exactly.
Who they considered God at that time. You understand? No, them thinkifying.
No, they still do in secret, you know. That's why it would be the Black Madonna that is all over these massive churches across Europe, except for England, has the Black Madonna and the Black Baby Jesus, because they all recognize it.
Yeah, man. So the black people must realize. Listen, I don't even want to call them black people. The
African race. The African race.
The African race must recognize that the basement, the way how them have us like animals, and the base in us in this world, where you have a place like Haiti that could have been great. You have a place like Africa that was great.
Mm-hmm.
You have a place like Jamaica that could have been great.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing stopping them except themselves.
So true.
You have to realize, right, black people have to realize that nobody is coming to your rescue. Nobody is coming to your rescue.
They call them
you have to rescue yourself. Poor people in Jamaica, you have to rescue yourself.
Oh yes. Nothing is coming from anywhere. Nothing will be coming from anywhere to rescue us. Our duty is to prepare for the next generation, to make sure the next generation, we put them on a pedestal where they can continue to develop for upcoming generation. But since the civil rights movement, I think globally we have dropped the ball as a race of African people who has always been fighting for justice. I think we have dropped the ball since these so-called independence that was given to us to distort us. People think that, okay, we have independence now, we have freedom. So
we're good now.
yeah, and within that time, they have even tightened the belt more raw, to be honest with you.
I want to tell you something. How them do that? But when you think about it, when you say tighten the belt, how did they do that on a practical level, Wayne? How did they do that? Them buy out the people.
You see, remember,
you can't get dollar unless you conform to this, conform to
that. Remember, during the civil rights movement, a lot of lawyers, teachers, nurses, doctors, people in the high professional rank, a lot of those people were on the ground in the civil rights movement. After the civil rights, those people get dressed up and move into high offices mentally, so they really don't think they move up into that middle class, acceptable part of society, and those people fall off the wagon for civil rights, and I think it has made the grassroots gone more quiet, because if the grassroots see that those in the middle belt is standing up and say it's difficult, that will give more poise to the grassroots to come out. But we have been subjected to brainwashing after brainwashing, which, my God.
But to tell you the truth, yes, we have to admit that. But you have so many. Look at Marcus Garvey. Can you imagine that? A man like Marcus Garvey. I wonder if Jamaican, Jamaica, I don't think Jamaican people understand the magnitude of Marcus Garvey across the globe. You see, you have more places in America named after Marcus Garvey than you have them named in Jamaica. You have more places named after Marcus Garvey than you have named after Bob Marley. You have more places named after Marcus Garvey than you have even African American people.
When you listen to a lot of the debates on social media across Africa, Marcus Garvey's name is called more regular than by Jamaicans and those in the Caribbean. When you listen to the debates across Africa, Marcus Garvey is really revered in Africa, whereas few of us talk about Marcus Garvey in Jamaica.
Listen, let me say, them have a festival almost every year in Ireland. Let me say, even Malcolm X parents were Garveyites.
Mm-hmm.
The Littles. Yeah, man. Most of the freedom fighters of the 60s, 70s, 50s
were inspired by Garvey.
Influenced them. Yeah, Marcus Garvey philosophy. Because Marcus Garvey philosophy is that you, black people, you can do it. You know, for wait on a savior, do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Straighten out your justice system.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. You see, I really can't believe. I can't put it in my head when, because I would become hopeless. I can't believe that the entire Jamaica, absolutely all, I use that word, I don't use the word absolute regularly, but and in this sense I am going to use it. I can't believe that all Jamaicans, meaning absolutely, don't want a better Jamaica. Don't want to know that when they die, excuse the language, I forget, when them 3 pints get taken,
mm-hmm.
that their wishes, their desires are not carried through because you have fraud, you have forgery, you have this, you have that. And to make it worse, that their children will not be able to get justice because the system will not allow it. Simply will not allow it because somebody gonna buy out somebody and somebody gonna buy out somebody and the police are gonna craft the case where him can only say, well, yes, the act is done. It is illegal. The forgery is found, but we don't know who to lock up or who to arrest for it. When the simple when all them have to do are just do simple investigations, get the man and right. I don't know if you understand. They craft the cases for these rich people to get away, and then without any second thought.
Well, the Silvera is a present case of crafting right now. Because if you notice, even though Bailey is telling us that Silvera's
hold on. Never put Maggie one on the other extreme.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very wealthy man in Jamaica named DeCambre. Ralston DeCambre used to own a whole heap of gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And him lawyer Asha defrauded him and forging signature and all of that. And you know, say, I guess Asha find a way, because Asha was a lawyer. So Asha have the connections to the police people,
Mm-hmm.
and them find a way to, yes, admit that the act of forgery was committed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The handwriting experts at the JCF decided, yes, this is a forgery. The act is committed, but here how them do it now. Them craft the case where them didn't take any handwriting samples from Asha. They didn't analyze those handwriting to make that it is him who signed the man's name on the fraudulent document.
That type of investigation is essential to that case, the handwriting forensics.
Exactly. So the police themselves, they know that me tell us the story is so simple, the plot so simple you can predict it. You know, that is a necessity in those type of investigations. So now when Asha got to court now and when the man got to court now, the judge is going to admit that the report is crafted in that way. The judge is going to look at it and analyze that within her opinion, and rightfully so, she's going to conclude that yes, the handwriting experts say yes, the forgery was done, but we don't have nobody.
But because of lack of evidence as to forensics to determine whose handwriting it is, we can't go further.
She can't lock up the man, or she can lock up the man and she don't know if I really can do it. But you say this is the type of corruption that is in Jamaica too. Because tell you something, you know, the judge could have said, instructed, if the judge really was working in the interest of justice, in the interest of a better Jamaica, she could have made an order to
have the writing forensically examined.
Yeah, because she needs to resolve this case fairly and justly.
In the whole Silvera issue, even if Silvera is charged with the murder of his wife, while the bedroom has gone through significant renovation, if an illegal firearm used, it can be discarded, or the clip can be changed, replaced on his licensed firearm. Can you see where if we even get him into court, we might not get a conviction? Because vital evidence is.
All right. When, as a lawyer, you know that the crime scene is important. Preserving the evidence is most important.
Precisely.
Right? The crime scene is that is not a crime scene anymore. Basically, what is the crime scene now is the sergeant who investigated the first crime scene whoever called him and instructed him to go.
Remember, don't cut you, but Fitzbailey said there is no police corruption in the initial investigation. That are the brown uniform man or whatever when friend call.
All right, so if there is no corruption there, then where are the pictures of the first crime scene? Where are the evidence that you've gathered from the first crime scene? Usually people take pictures of the crime scene, correct?
It is a very important. It's a very important exhibit for trial.
Yeah. So where are these things, Mr. Bailey? Where is the evidence that have been gathered
because
in the initial investigation?
They weren't aware that the pathologist wouldn't follow suit, because I do believe that the pathologist refused to be bought out.
And I want to tell you something, there are pathologists that get bought out because we have a brother with them pies, where them know with the pathologists do all kind hey, make I tell you something, it's Jamaica. Oh my God. I pray for Jamaica. Yeah.
Rob, prayer can't help Jamaica. We are a very praying society.
My God, man, El Shaddai must can't help Jamaica.
We have always, which society pray like Jamaica?
But no, it's not the prayer, it's P-R-E-Y, you mean. Them pray upon poor people, helpless, them one another. And I pray they mean.
That's the one they're doing.
The P-R-A-Y.
But they distort us to think they're doing the P-R-A-Y.
Right, and I pray them, I pray upon people and people, children, and I wait for old people for dead, and I kill our people, and I thief them money, and I do all kind of thing, and expect them children to be blessed.
Mm-hmm.
It makes absolutely no sense to me that you are going to think that your child and your future is going to be blessed after you do all them wickedness there. And then when you see things happening to them, you say, Lord, the people them obey your thing and you obey. No, you with your wicked
your
self.
Own retribution of your wickedness.
Yeah. So Patrick Bailey, Mr. Bailey from the police guy, Fitzbailey. Fitzbailey, in a revelation, you have a group of people running to Christ, and Christ turning to them and saying, "Get thee away from me." Because everything, I'm saying, like him, I run them from him and them a ball out. But we did this in your name, and we did that in your name, and we healed this in your name, and we healed that in your name. Who you think him to talk to this in a pastor? Who you think who heal in a Jesus' name? And who the things in a Jesus' name? The pastor. So that
wicked pastor like Fitzbailey them.
That group of people right there are people who call themselves people of Christ, are people of God. And he might tell them, said right now in a revelation, say, hold on, stop. When you need that do, we need that do. We need that say, we need that do it in our mind here, but if we don't self, we need that do it for. Mr. Bailey, who are you doing life for? Are you doing life for God, or are you doing life for yourself?
Remember, this man is poisoning himself to become the next commissioner of police.
And again, I throw another scripture at him with that one. What does it benefit a man to gain the world and lose his soul, Mr. Bailey?
Because we know that even the pastor upon the pulpit is more interested in the tithe and offering than they're interested in the well-being of the members that they're harassing and robbing and scamming on a weekly basis.
Then remember, we just say on a PRAY the people are doing, man.
Exactly.
And a PRAY. When them see you coming, them see a soul to win, them see a pocket.
Them see a pocket to dip into.
Yeah. You know, when I'm going to Jamaica, you know, a policeman said to me, it's like, you know, you drive on the road and you're not speed, but them still pull you over for speed. And you can't bother with the problem. You just give them my money. and things like that. And I want to tell you something. One of them look at me and say, you know, so enough people look at you for rob you. And me I say, what? Why would I say a thing like that? But it's something where him know. Him don't have to be around me to see it, but him just know the people. Him know him own people. Him know. You understand? Him know.
It all works out with society, raw. We go to extortion.
You know, me understand that, but the fact that him know that, and he never been around me, never been around the people when we been around. But the fact that him can just come up with that, it's like him knows, say, listen, man, me know my people. If somebody now look for rob you, something wrong. And that him might tell me this, so. And you see, that is what needs to change.
We are in a...
Jamaican people who need to change in the ways, because we're not distract on themselves.
Right. And they don't realize how much they're holding Jamaica back. You know, the amount of diasporans want to invest in our country, but because of the trustworthiness, the lack of trustworthiness, Jamaica economy is suffering.
Listen, man, if any investor, unless he's a multinational where you can call them the armies of America to run down the pandemic. If you're a regular people like me and you have a few million American or a few million, or even a few 100,000 American or a few 100,000 pounds, and you decide, say, you know what, I'm going to buy a piece of land in Jamaica and things like that, and Ray. I say not even that safe for Arctic Cup. I tell you something, better you buy where you buy in a good old America and good old England. Yeah,
Messi and the other day, it come out in the papers. Say one of them next businessmen to be extradited to the US for scamming. Maybe to get ahead in our justice system is to attach all of our crime to America. Like them commit panicile America, then America will deal with it, because it's easy for America to prosecute these scammers, but Jamaica can't because how much Paula Llewellyn let off.
I want to tell you something, you know. You see, the truth of the matter is that the FBI should have been involved with even the Pantan case. Here why? Because I don't believe that company lose all that money and all of it was in Jamaican currency. And once you have American currency in that type of situation, the FBI usually move in.
Yeah, once money pass through their system.
Even the money, anything about America, American citizens, American money, anything we do with America, once it in some type of issue, especially the money, you're joking. The feds trying to figure out what happened. Now the next thing, you have a whole heap of criminals in Jamaica. Take your money from Jamaica, run, come carry, come America, come deposit. Think it's safe. At the right place on the bring it come.
Exactly.
At the right place on the bring it come. Because bringing it in and taking it out is two different things.
Exactly.
And exactly. Anytime you trace it back to you, so it done fool no.
It's so true. So true.
If Jamaica no want lock up America will.
Definitely. 100%.
I mean, no one can. Hey, wait. You see the amount of money with them Jamaican police they take for the bribe to? It's so little and nothing compared to the robbery, you know. Because one guy robbed billions in and pay all the policeman a little couple 100,000 or a little few little Jamaican millions. And he feel fine about that, not realizing say him now I put film soul in issues for them little bit of money while the big man are gone. Hey, because the police are me. Well on wait. Hold on, man. He said me a police of Jamaica, me have to participate in the bribery. If me not get 50% of your profit and 50% of your fortune, hold the sell.
No, but what I'm trying to show you that Jamaican police them grow up on cheap buyout. You see St. Elizabeth police them, you could just use a few fish and a few lobster to buy them out. That's how cheap they are.
That man said, hey, you could have never tried that in America.
You got present it raw. Look on a system of just lying to the FBI.
Just somebody lying. Just like to the immigration and them thing get me fuck up. You're joking.
Just lying to the FBI, you can pick up a prison sentence.
But Jamaica have no rules, no regulations.
None.
And this is why.
None whatsoever.
It is not. It got turned into the playground of the rich.
And
poor people become the playthings of the rich.
Exactly. The faster we wake up, it's the better for us and preceding generation. Because
and the police, they were involved the police, they were involved in the corruption. You better make sure say reach by the time we're done and can't hear what now. You see the system we want to set up, this corruption system, if we pass off and leave that system up and running, you see when a picnic, we have to face that system. Okay? Them themselves are going to become victims of the rich. And God is so good that God is going to make sure that happens.
Mm-hmm.
God now just make other people pick the suffer. In the system where uno create corrupt police and for uno pick them say, no, everybody have to go suffer.
Oh yes.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. So all uno pick now get it too. So uno can't stay there. Uno might leave all fortune, the robbery fortune for uno pick now, uno pick them never get $1. Then the money they not benefit uno picnic. When a picnic now benefit, it will become a curse. Any type of money on a thief and ill-begotten gains is a curse for the family.
Oh, so
it's a curse. And you can't talk about well the children wasn't involved when the children don't know. No, I just saw it work.
Their own Christian Bible tells them so the sins of the parent.
Yeah, the parents condemn them. You can't blame nobody. The parents by sharing the profits with the children. The children have now essentially become, we don't call it now. What kind of charge you let them with officer Wayne? They pick them. Accomplice? After the fact?
Or handling stolen goods?
Yeah. But them are still involved in the crime, don't it?
Oh yes, because you are benefiting from proceeds of the crime.
That means you're involved in the sin too.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That means if the sin says you forgot hell, you're going to hell, don't it?
Precisely so.
Right. So now your parents condemn you there, so. Right. So all thieving police and robbery police want to rob people, all people. Like I tell you something, when you pick the and escape the judgment, do the right thing.
You see, they are all locked into the euphoria of power at the moment where they feel that they will be eternally untouchable.
Oh yeah. I saw sin work, man. You're there on the earth and you're fantastic and you're fabulous and things like that. You know, that's why people want to live on because they know so as soon as they pass on a problem with them and God.
Yes.
You're joking.
And it's all changed. Hey. It's all changing.
Yeah, man. The problem with you and God, I tell you that. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a problem with everybody and God. But the problem is, will your problem be a big problem with God? Will you be charged for destroying other people's lives? Will that be your charge? That you've destroyed others, human beings, people's children, just because you love money. The root of all evil, loving it. You should use money to answer your questions and don't love money. Money is supposed to just answer your questions. If you have a whole heap of questions, then you work hard and get a whole heap of money to answer the whole heap of questions.
Well, it's rather
You should
used.
love money.
It's rather used to manipulate and control.
Listen, I understand them way. But wait, and take up no more of the show, because I come like I want me the funny.
All right then. Thank you for calling, yeah?
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man. But Jamaican people, never leave with this, right? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And that is a saying that my dear Dr. Mary Umulu, one of my mentors, my favorite one, always said to me when it came to play things like Jamaica. And what it means is that the man who knows a little more than you will be king over you. So you have to educate yourself, Jamaican people. Stop being subjugated by people where some of the times they don't even know more than you. Some of them can't even read more than you. You hear that man in a parliament and you hear me that read like in Miss Blood Peter.
But Ra, half away take George Wright as an example.
Yeah.
George Wright qualification was wielding a stool on the high street. As a member of parliament, George Wright have no academic qualification. So how could that person in parliament have anything meaningful to put into a legislative debate?
My gosh, you probably don't know how to spell the word.
You see, all right. So you see the problem where we in a?
Yes. It's like, what is he considering?
Exactly.
And you know, it could. Well, I want to tell you something. It could work. It could work if it was a noble guy. If he come from the ghetto, get there and say, all right, I get an opportunity to be in parliament. No. I can't read and write properly. I can't this. I'm academically 100 on everything. But I know what I want. I want my people them to have better. So whoever me have to get all of the technocrats me have to get under me to do the work, are fine. But this is the direction that should be taking a parliament. You say that area so we need work for these people. We need scholarship on school, this, that. We need this, that for these people. We need to make sure that the road them okay. We need you understand? You can be, you don't have to have education for that. You can't hire a technocrat to do that. What is is the vision where you go with as a man? When you understand?
Yes.
So yeah, just the art and them direction and what them really want, them intention. What is your intention for Jamaica politician? What is your intention for poor people in Jamaica? Corrupt police?
Well, I think they've shown us enough that there's no intention other than for their pocket and the power that they are interested in.
You mean the power where them I work for, which is the interest of the rich people? You know that me I say if a revolution start now, the police department and the soldier them are the rich people them are gonna surround.
Oh yes.
If so, them naga, even though them themselves are poor people.
Them are gonna put themselves on the line for them rich, powerful, and famous.
And them not get that dollar extra, except just more praise. Just more praise.
If them don't even have uniform to wear.
I mean, I tell you, Bridget, and them still. But police at Jamaica only need to do better. Stop it. The high command, listen. The man them on the lower end and make them look bad. You have to draft up the ranks. put more discipline in the things. Sergeant Edwards from France Squad, we not come off of you. You understand? Because we say they are trying to rob us of justice. So we want the whole world to know about you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? One of them need to stop them thing there. Yeah. But anyway, bless up my Lord.
Yeah, man. Respect for your time and the knowledge.
Yes, man. Respect, man. And I appreciate the show, man. We have to keep fighting for Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, again, we have to start educating people about the importance of the vote.
Yes.
You know, people sell...
The importance and the like power food, you know, of their vote.
Yeah. Like the truth, you know, you buy it and sell it, not. You hold it close to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't sell it. Don't sell the vote. You don't sell it. It's yours. This is the power. This is the time when you have the power.
Your vote is your offer to the next generation. Your vote is not for you. Your vote is for the next generation.
Thank you so much. And you can make the rich people come now and buy your vote, so them you can vote for their interest instead of your interest. Because if you vote for their interest, you vote against your interest.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Your children's future gone, done. You understand?
You've thrown it away.
Yeah, man. Because how much am I pay them so?
Well, the last
if a guy want to get me in corruption, he have to give me half of the profit. So if a $10 billion you have to make while in office and you hold it, you have to give me at least $5 billion. Can you sell your vote? That's how we are working. That's how valuable the vote is. That him a try buy it for little and nothing. Wholesale him a buy, you know.
Oh God. Oh God.
And then now the price for buying so much of it is that him get the opportunity to steal the billions when it's supposed to come to you. Yeah, you see him one.
To the point when teach so much when you can't give an account for.
Anyway, later we get.
All right then, thanks for calling, yeah?
Yeah, blessings folks. Take care.
All right, bless up. Yes, there you have it. A lot of you here would know Raw from previous platform. But yes, if anyone else wants to call, we will facilitate you. Even if you want to say season greetings to your family or you want to make a point, we will facilitate that. But we have to continue to keep the conversation going. Jojoya, welcome. It's the first time I'm seeing this name. I will say this because I'm not always looking in the comments, so when I see names I'm not used to pop up, then I might think it's your first time, but people are always here. Not everybody comment in the chats and things like that. But the information and the education must continue by us at home and in the diaspora across whatever social forum. The reason is we have been messed up by information and is continuously being controlled by misinformation and narrative. One of the reasons in our politics why politicians can buy or vote for little and nothing. Hello, Carl Thomas. I'm sorry, Thompson. One of the reasons why our politicians can buy our vote and buy it so cheaply is because we do not understand the power of our vote. We do not understand the power of us standing together. We continuously reuse the phrase, united we stand, divided we fall. When are we going to ever put that in practice? When are we going to ever put united we stand, divided we fall into practice? The reason why politicians and the security services continue to get away with the things they do to us is because we're not standing united. The reason why they can buy our votes is because we're not standing united. We're standing in colorism, politics, and all different things that separate us, but not what brings us together. This coming election is a very difficult one because you don't see the benefit of returning the Jamaica Labour Party. And you don't see the benefit of handing over the country to a divided, disgruntled People's National Party, where on the face of it, the Jamaica Labour Party is involved in a cover-up of a murder, which is the Patrick Bailey murder. Patrick Bailey, the attorney of the Prime Minister. And now we see another murder by a once MP who is still a member of the People's National Party. Anointed One, good evening, is still a member of the People's National Party. It's been seen closely aligned to Mark Golden of recent in public. We are dealing with both sides of the political coin who are involved in murder cover-up. Do you understand the situation that we are in as a people and as a country? Do you understand the situation we are in as a people and a country when our politicians and our security services are the major source of covering up crime, murder, covering up murder that took place in the house of Patrick Bailey and Julian Silvera. No sign of breaking and entry, we were told, in the Patrick Bailey residence. And so far, they haven't told us that there was a break-in and entry at the Silvera's residence. So while there were no break-in and entry and a murder, and two murders were committed within two different properties by rich and famous people, there has been a massive cover-up by the government, the police, and mainstream media is rather quiet, very quiet. Mainstream media is not treating this story as the headline it ought to be. Without social media, you would be rarely hearing much about Mrs. Silvera. Did Julian Silvera, in concealing the crime of alleged murdering his wife, was hoping that once the pathologist takes the deal and we have settled everything, I'm going to walk away with millions? Because since Leon Davis died, the mother of Mrs. Silvera, Mrs. Silvera was an only child and has become filthy rich from asset and insurance. Was Mr. Silvera and Ripe Mango, Kamala Forbes, planning to walk away into the sunshine with all that belongs to Mrs. Silvera after they've killed her, buried her, collected her assets, then move on to their own life? Was that the plan of Julian Silvera? Get rid of my wife and I became filthy rich. Get rid of Melissa Silvera and Julian Silvera becomes filthy rich. Filthy rich. Sorry, but an investigation must be opened in the death of the 2-year-old Silvera. If he has allegedly murdered his wife and pull a wool over our eyes for 5 weeks, pull a wool over our eyes for 5 weeks with the assistance of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, with the assistance of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, because the initial brown uniform police missed an awful lot or ignore an awful lot or willfully look away from an awful lot. When it turns out that this was all a cover-up, the chief investigating officer, Fitzbailey, which is responsible for crime, is coming to tell us that there was no police corruption. If there was no police corruption, and based on what we know now, that a crime scene was given the opportunity to be cleaned of evidence on all fronts, exhibits and forensic, to be cleared on all fronts. Can you see where Fitzbailey will be coming to tell us that there isn't sufficient evidence to charge? Or even if Fitzbailey charge him, can you see where a justice system is going to tell us they cannot convict Mr. Silvera because there isn't enough evidence beyond reasonable doubt that Mr. Silvera has murdered his wife? I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Tomorrow night I'm going to try to stick to the midnight. I'm going to try I'm doing a pilot project. That's why I'm doing the midnight show, because come January I'm looking into 3 slots. Midday UK time, which will be like 5 o'clock in the midday UK time. You work out the Jamaica time, and then 6 p.m. UK time as well. And then I want to move the 11 p.m. show up to midnight. So I want your feedback on those, because come January we will be doing 3 shows per day. Like a paper review for the morning show, then the 6 p.m. UK time will be drive time London, lunchtime global, and then the usual people's point of view at midnight. Moving up the nightly show to, oh yeah, Debbie's saying that would be 7 a.m. For the midday show that I'll be doing. Those 2 shows will cater hugely to the UK audience, because by the time the 11 o'clock, even the 11 o'clock is difficult for some of the UK audience. So the 12, noon, and 6 p.m. UK time will carry a huge focus on the UK audience. You know, we'll be always, when I say that, I mean we'll be dealing with our Jamaican issue, but more of our UK audience will be up and about then. And then the nightly show, we move up to 12. We move up to midnight. So give me your feedback on that. You can always put your comment in the chat, or you can also WhatsApp me with your views, really. But 6 p.m. UK time is 1 p.m. Jamaica time. Okay. 12 midnight UK time is 7 p.m. Jamaica time. So there you have it, people. Debbie has given you the settings for both of the timing. So give me your feedback. You can send it on WhatsApp, or you can also type in the after chat and let us know what you think, or yeah, just tell us what you think. But it is Christmas Day wherever you are in the Western Hemisphere or globally, where Christmas is celebrated. I want to say to you all, enjoy the period, spend time with your family, reflect on a lot of what has happened throughout the year. And this time of the year is where we're really defrogging ourselves to move into 2024. But what I want is for us to move into 2024 with oneness, determination, and a focus on future generations. Thank you very much. And as I said, tomorrow in the daytime, I will most likely be coming on TikTok because of music violation. I'm sure there's going to be music in the house a lot tomorrow, so I won't be able to do a YouTube broadcast in the daytime. So if you're not yet following my TikTok, please do so. It's Producer Wayne Global TV, or it's the same handle as my YouTube at PW Global TV 358. And there you can follow me, and we will just celebrate and have chit chats tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all my loyal supporters. Thanks to my moderators. Thanks to all who've called in and have a conversation tonight. And we will see you tomorrow. Take care, have fun, and be blessed for the period. And make sure you don't overeat or overdrink. And for those who will be going back and forth throughout this period, drive safely. Do not drink and drive. This is Global TV, and we are saying to you, season's greetings on Christmas Day. Thank you very much for being here, and we will see you later this evening. Thank you. Good night.